Meteorologist Ricky Matthews joining us now to talk about some of the science behind this weather forecast. And Ricky, we were just talking to David about how tricky it is. You've got rain and sleet and snow, everything mixing in. Why the mixed bag with this?
It's all about the temperature both at the surface and also aloft in the clouds, from the clouds down to the surface. It really depends on, what's going to happen in the vertical layer as well. So we're going to try to break it down a little bit. We're going to try to show you why we're going to see some rain versus some sleet versus some freezing rain. Here's our future track for tomorrow morning. Note, around 8 to 5 a.m. in the morning, still a mixed bag of precipitation. We may see some sleet, we may see some freezing rain, and some spots may see a little bit of snow as well. But then as we go further into time, more snow and a little bit of freezing rain starts to work in, maybe patches of rain at times. It's going to be one of those days where we're just going to have to kind of watch the temperature at the surface and also look at the radar and your viewer reports as well to figure out what's going to happen. So what happens and why do different types of precipitation form? It's all based on the temperature, both up here in the clouds, which are typically below freezing, and the temperature from the clouds all the way down the ground. So if you have a large area of temperature that is above freezing, what you're going to get in that situation is typically rain, where you just hit all the snow falling out of the clouds to melt before it hits the surface. But if there's an area that's below freezing, but also an area where you see an above freezing area, you're going to get what's called freezing rain. That's where the temperature of the surface is still below freezing, and it typically clings onto all those surfaces down at the surface, like the power lines, the trees, stuff like that, and creates a really icy mess. But sometimes, if you ever noticed little ice pellets, a lot of people call it hail, but it's not. It's what we call sleet. That's when you have an area up above that is above freezing, but it's really small. It's not one of those large areas that the ice is able to melt quickly in. Then you have another cooler area below where the water refreezes and turns into an ice pellet. That's when you end up with a little bit of sleet in that situation. And of course, the final one is snow. That's if you have 100% cold air, you don't get any type of melting as it falls, you end up with that. So a little breakdown once again, large area above 32, some freezing rain, a smaller area, you end up with a little bit of sleet. And then, Preston, as we go into the later portion of tomorrow, I think we'll probably end up with the potential for something just like this and a little bit of snow.
So really, we're going to watch those temperatures all the way up and down through the atmosphere. That's where your guys will be spending your day, I imagine.
Yeah, lots of Weather Service offices launch what's called a weather balloon. It goes up, it takes the temperature all the way as it climbs, and that really helps us determine what's going to fall.
All right, thanks, Ricky. Trying to help make sense of a very complicated forecast. We're back with some live music here at noon right after this. Right now, though, a live look outside in Johnson City. State of